Hello, everybody. I'm Derek.
I'm Blake.
I'm Alex, and welcome to 1 Hour One-Offs.
Every episode, we will pit a DM versus a player in an epic duel.
The DM must create a one-off campaign designed for a single player that takes 1 real-life hour to complete.
At the end of that hour, no matter what, the session is over, and a winner is determined.
We have a rotation of DMs and players, as well as settings and systems set up to keep each episode fresh and exciting.
So without further ado, welcome to 1 Hour One-Offs. All right, let's get it started, guys. Who is who this week?
All right. Hey, I'm Derek. I'm DMing today.
I'm Alex. I will be playing.
I'm Blake. I'll be your moderator.
Awesome.
And to get a bit into today's system and setting, we'll be playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, latest in, I guess, the long bloodline of Dungeons & Dragons. One of the more simple ones.
Very long.
It's pretty flexible as far as everything goes. Standard D20 system. And setting-wise, we'll be playing in...
Thankfully, no AD&D.
Oh god, yeah. All your female characters have lower max strength caps. Thanks.
Is that a thing?
Yeah. So for exceptional strength, like female characters of like most of the races cannot be as exceptional as males can.
That's very... I'm going to use the word interesting.
Yes. There are some questionable things in AD&D. Anyways.
Actually,
I mean, the whole system was just on mass.
I have a quick question. Are there rules for aging in 5e?
No, there are not.
Okay. Because I know there are in 3.5, and I also that could have been relevant.
I see. But nope, you're fine. Anyways, today's setting. It's going to be pretty generic fantasy, some sort of Middle Ages aesthetic. There are elves, goblins, orcs, nothing too wild or past steampunk in terms of technology, though that shouldn't come up unless Alex's character brings it in, of course. And I think that's it for my end.
All right. Where actually are we though? Like, is this is this a desert? You know.
Okay, so we're in the woods. You're next to a cave. You were taking a short nap before dinner, and you've woken up to find your spice pouch missing. And that's our premise.
Oh no. Yeah. All right. So just before we cut into the first scene, let me introduce Kaarg Turose. He is a 6'8", 60-year-old half-orc, which is actually very, very old for a half-orc. Most of them, like their upper expectancy of life is 75 years. So he's pushing it, and it shows in the fact that his once like vibrant green skin has taken on a bit of an ashy tone, and his brown, his like dark brown hair has started. It's not graying, but it's like fading towards gray. He carries a square iron cannonbow and a straight-edged sword, as well as a mighty longbow on his back. The only visible item of clothing he's wearing is a like large, swathy, kind of tattered cloak with orcish petroglyphs all over it that he wears over some layered wooden armor.
All right. Very cool. So as it is, if our moderator wants to start the timer, you've got 1 hour to get your spices back and prepare dinner on time before your entire bedtime routine gets thrown way off.
Yeah.
All right, that is 1 hour on the clock, starting now.
Kaarg rises. Is it morning now, or is it like evening?
It's evening just
So it's an hour
dinner.
before dinner.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's an hour before you would start to prepare dinner.
So it's actually probably like mid-afternoon then.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah. Do I have... Yeah, so I was probably... So I've just completed some training exercises. Kaarg is a former soldier for a very noble and wise king, and he still maintains most of the entrapments and duties associated with that, despite the fact that his king is long dead. And so he was completing his daily drills, settled down to make his nightly meal after cleaning his weapon, and realizes that, no, there's no spice for his mutton.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I assume I left my spice pouch with my, with my gear, like with my cooking supplies?
Yes, it's all where your cooking supplies would have been, and if you'll check your supplies, nothing's missing but the spice pouch.
Nothing's missing. Does it look, like, ransacked?
It looks like someone went through in a hurry, but also, like, tried to preserve the organization of your system within reason, you know? It wasn't a priority, but, like, they didn't want to just leave everything strewn about and a nightmare to clean up.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. So mischief more than maliciousness. Perhaps. So Karg, kneels down. He plants his cannabo, end down and kneels so he can inspect. Someone took my spice, he says.
Indeed.
He's gonna... Yeah, so where's the nearest, settlement?
Nearest settlement would be about... For an average traveler, it would probably be about, 4.5 hours to the north, because you'd be picking your way through the woods to get back up there.
Okay. Interesting. Well, definitely too far to check that out before dinner. I'm gonna search for tracks. Are there tracks around?
Yeah, you want to make me a perception, investigation, or nature roll of your choice?
I assume insight would not work here.
No, the ground is not trying to hide anything from you.
That's what the ground thinks. Okay, that is a 10.
A 10?
Modified.
Alright, yeah,
Yes.
so you're walking around your campsite. The earth is relatively harder here, so it's a bit difficult to pick things out, but towards one of the edges, you do see sort of deep pockmarks in the dirt that have sort of filled in with soil, as if something with long pointy legs, was tapping its way through.
So it's not like a traditional footprint?
It's not like a dinosaur fossil footprint, no. It's more like...
But it doesn't look like a foot, it looks like a poke.
It's like someone took a tent stake out of the ground.
Interesting. Do they lead off in a direction?
They do.
Or do I only find
They
one?
do.
So I'll follow them, yeah.
Alright, yeah, you follow them for less than 5 minutes when they enter the mouth of a large cave and pick their way up a wall and deeper into the cave. And as they go up the wall, transitioning to stone, you can see that they've actually kind of broken into the stone and left pick marks in it.
Okay, so they poked into the stone wall as well. Interesting. Yeah. Karg is gonna stop at the mouth of the cave at first and just kind of ready his weapons and such. He was using the cannabo as a walking stick, leaning on it a little heavy before. He just finished his workout and all his joints are kind of angry at him right now, so he shifts it so it's actually being held in his hand and drags the tip behind him as he walks forward.
Okay, yeah. Your bow scrapes against the ground as you walk deeper into the cave. The gleam of the late afternoon sun fades, and torchlight flickers from deeper within, while the air grows warm and humid. Alright, you proceed down the hallway, I assume?
For now, yeah.
Alright, yeah. As you walk further and further down, a soft chittering can be heard, along with...
Actually, wait, sorry, before I go any farther, do I have any remnant of my spices or, spice pouch? or like something that it was kept near in my cooking supplies?
Depending on like how you stored it, yeah, like definitely there would have been like some spices, like powders, on the ground just from someone opening up the pouch to like check what was inside it, right?
Okay, yeah. So once I find the cave entrance, I'm actually gonna hurry back to the campsite.
Okay.
If that is okay.
Yes, that's all right.
And I'm going to reach deep within the folds of my cloak. And to an observer, it would look as if I was reaching deep into pockets, but Karg's surprisingly deft fingers actually delve inside and start plucking at the strings on one of the petroglyphs. And as he unravels the signs that spell out dog in, it would actually be Dwarvish script because orcs don't have their own written language. It says dog in Dwarvish script, and as he unravels the long string and throws it out into the air, 2 mastiffs form out of the strings and land in front of them.
Okay. Very cool casting flavor, by the way. You've got your string mastiffs now.
Yeah, well, I think they're actually real mastiffs, but...
You've got your real mastiffs now.
Yeah, and I would like to ask them to track the scent.
All right, yeah, one of them like huffs the powders and kind of sneezes, and then... Do your mastiffs have like any kind of personality?
He's actually... So Karg has actually never met them before. So he summons them, and he kneels down in front of them, and he holds out the like collection of powders in his hands.
All right, yeah, they're clever enough to like
noble
get your
beast.
point. So like this dog sneezes and like nudges its friend, and they kind of plod off towards the direction of the cave.
So he's never met these dogs, but he does know whose they are, and so he like very reverently leaves a hand on one of them and thanks them both for their help.
Right, yeah. It's reassuring to you to touch this dog.
Yeah.
Alright, so you're going off into the cave then. They head up to the, I guess, bend in the hallway that I mentioned previously. Soft chittering, bubbling noises deeper within. And they're about to turn the corner. You gonna do anything about that?
So they're just ahead of me in the cave. How much farther ahead of me are they?
That's up to you.
I'm gonna say that they like start. So we get to the cave and the smell gets a little stronger, and they get excited and start to run ahead. And as they get to the corner, Karg is going to whistle sharply and repeat. He basically barks out "heel" in Orcish.
All right.
To get them to walk with him instead.
Yeah, one of the dogs kind of like drifts a bit around the corner as it scrabbles for purchase on the like wet stone. But like, yeah, it like spins around and both dogs do plod back to you. But deeper in the cave, you can hear like a more frantic chittering and like,
yeah,
sort of like sibilant whispering that's going back and forth between something inside.
As we walk forwards, I say to each of the dogs, a careful step saves many lives.
Right, yeah, so you step around the corner and you see this room. So a hot spring burbles up from beneath the center of it. The strange pockmarked holes gouge a path up the wall and into the next hallway. 4 slimy figures stand in the middle of the spring, fire newts. One is painted with flecks of gold, and they're all kind of in a state of disarray because each is like scrambling to equip its gear, and put on its armor, grab its helmet, grab a spear. The one with the gold painting on itself is taking a staff.
So they're using tools.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Do I know fire newts to be sentient?
Yeah, it's reasonably common knowledge.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to take in like one motion. I'm going to remove my cloak and throw it to the ground next to me. He's revealing for the first time the full adornment of Karg's armor. He's wearing slatted wooden armor, each slat lined with the fur of various animals. He straightens his usually hunched back to his full 6'8", 280 pounds, and calls out to the fire newts. Thievery is the sign of cowardice. Who steals from Ka'arg?
All right, so the like 4 fire newts kind of like freeze, and in unison, like 3 of their heads swivel, and they like affix the gold-painted one with their like bulgy eyes, you know, and like kind of wait, and everyone's like kind of frozen for a moment, because this newts are they basically like come up no higher than your chest, right? And they all look pretty intimidated.
Yeah.
And then eventually the gold newt hisses out at you, "So, another victim of the doctor. Well, it was not us who dared steal from you."
Aid me to right this wrong, then. And can I roll persuasion with that?
Yeah, sure.
So I'm going to use my elegant courier ability here and add my wisdom modifier to this persuasion check.
Of course.
So Ka'arg, with his ancient knowledge of court politics and the way of conveying many emotions with few words, rolls a 15 after modification.
All right. Yeah. So the gold newt has been like taking this moment to like commune with its fellow newts and like sibilant whispering that you can't really understand, and then it like stops and like looks at you, and it like takes you in, recognizes that you're a samurai, and it says, yes, we too have suffered the machinations of the evil Dr. Van Zelfish. Yes, normally you would need to prove yourself before passing, but we will allow it. Watch out, be most aware. And the guy walks over to the back of the cave and unlocks this like black iron like fence, I guess, that's kind of sectioning off the back tunnel, and like gestures to you, indicates that you can step through.
Noble deed deserves noble reward. And I'm going to... So as I pick up my cloak off the ground and once again reach into the folds as if I were reaching into a pocket, once again unwinding various threads and such, and this time, when I remove my hand, it is full of gold pieces, and I'm going to give them 50 GP.
Very kind of you. All right, like at this, the newt is going to like straighten its back a bit more, like in pride and also respect, and it like looks into your eyes for more or less the first time, because it's been pretty nervous up until now. And it introduces itself as the warlock of this tribe, and it's like, wait, perhaps I should tell you a bit more about the cave. We used to grow living fungus down there in the next room over, but ever since Dr. Van Zelfish moved in, we haven't really been brave enough to tend to it, so it might have gotten a bit sassy by now, but you can use fire, of which it is most afraid. It like bobs its head at you and steps aside again.
Yeah, Ka'arg will simply nod his head and ready his cannonbow, and as he leaves, he turns back to the fire newt and locks eyes with it, and he says, "You have aided me on my quest today, but know that if I should return and find you at fault, I will not hesitate." And he leaves.
Okay, yeah, you leave 4 nervous newts behind you, and can I ask what's up with the mastiffs? Where are they?
I'm gonna whistle and have one of them sit at this entrance and bring the other with me.
Okay. Your mastiffs are about as large as the newts, so they don't really move to interfere, but you can see that they're a bit hesitant to allow this dog to stay nearby. But under the circumstances, they'll permit it, and you head farther in with your 1 remaining mastiff. Alright, so a tunnel, well lit by torchlight, leads deeper into the cave. The sound of rushing water can be heard.
Yeah, Ka'arg traces his hands over his free hand over the damp stone next to him. Do you say it was lit or no?
Yeah, this tunnel is still well lit by torches. They're like set into braziers into the walls.
As he walks, he's tracing his hand along the wall, and once he comes across a brazier, he's gonna take the torch.
Alright, yeah. You yoink that torch. It comes loose easily. You estimate that it's got like it's like a piece of wood, like with a cloth around it, a rag essentially soaked in something. But you observe it and you can kind of estimate that it'll last you like another good like 6 hours.
Okay. Cool, yeah. As I go, I'm also going to... this time, the petroglyph isn't in a place where I can reach it as if it looks like I'm reaching into a pocket. So he's just, like, plucking at the strings on, like, right over his left breast. And he doesn't fully unravel it, but he gets it ready.
Right, yeah, plink plonking, I guess, bounces down the hallway as you walk further in. And eventually you come to a wide, pretty cavernous room, and like a river goes all the way through the middle, left to right. And on this side of the bank, you've got like torches, you know, going along both walls until they hit the river, and then the far bank is dark.
How far away is the far bank?
River is like...
Approximately.
It's pretty sizable, actually. It's like a good 20, 30 feet wide. There's like white froth against the
so
wall.
I can I can actually see the opposite bank then, because I do have 60-foot dark vision.
Yes. If you can see the opposite bank with clarity. Dark vision treats dim light as normal light, correct?
The eternal meme.
It treats it as low light and I can't see color, yes.
Okay. Yeah, then you can actually see that there's like yet another tunnel on the far wall that goes deeper in. And against the wall you can see like braziers with torches set into the wall as well, but they are unlit.
Yeah. So what does the river looks to be moving pretty quickly, right?
Yeah, it's like roaring.
Is there anything other that's not made of stone on the opposite end?
Anything not made of stone.
Yeah.
There's like silt in the like eddies like nearest to the shore, but that's arguably still made of stone. And of course you've got this torches set into the walls.
Yeah.
But nope, everything is stone.
Oh, so the braziers are on things set into the wall though,
Yes.
right? Okay, I'm going to... So Ka'arg looks at this for a little while and then sits down and meditates briefly and remembers a time where he was fighting for his king and they were backed up against a wall, or backed up against a cliff, and they all thought they were, this was going to be the end of it. The mountain giants were closing in, and instead they all took great ropes and threw them to trees on the opposite side and swung down to a lower cliff face and lived to fight another day. So he is going to take not the one he originally grabbed, but a different thread, and as he pulls this thread, it actually just expands into a 50-foot rope, and he's gonna make a loop of it and try and catch one of the braziers on the other side with the rope.
Okay. Make me a thrown attack roll, improvised weapon. Since you've done this before under duress, I'll say you have proficiency.
Cool. So what actually are the rules for doing that?
So it's improvised, so it's 1d20 and it's thrown, which is plus strength, and since I'm giving you proficiency, it's plus proficiency. So basically just make a thrown attack. Like if you've got a javelin, it's the same roll.
Yeah, I have hand axes.
Yeah, same.
Okay, that is a 10 after modification.
Yeah, you cast your rope across the gap, but you can't quite manage to hook one of the braziers. It like falls into the water, and it's like kind of kind of a hassle actually, like pulling the rope back out, but you manage it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try one more time.
Mm-hmm.
If that is all right.
It's quite all right.
Yeah, this time I'm gonna like soak the end in water a little bit to make the loop a little heavier and give me some weight and throw again.
Okay.
Ooh, nice. That's an 18.
Okay, yeah, you managed to hook one of the braziers quite handily.
Yeah. I'm gonna oh, sorry. After I catch it, I'm gonna kneel down and put my hand on the other mastiff's snout, and I'm gonna say, "Wait here, noble beast," and I'm gonna start pulling myself across the river.
All right. Are you doing anything to anchor the rope on this side of the river as well?
Are there braziers that I could tie it to on this side?
You said your rope was 50 feet long?
Yes.
All right, let's see. River's 30 feet.
Gives me 10 feet on each side.
10 feet on each side is kind of small, but I'll say you can do...
I know, I give the other end to the mastiff.
What's a mastiff's strength score? Do you happen to know?
I actually don't have it, but... I think it's...
Here, we'll treat it as the, like, CR-18 mastiff, which means it has 13 strength.
Okay, that's not horrible.
And this, so is this like a generic mastiff then, or is it like some kind of holy mastiff?
I believe it is, yeah.
You've got like a cloak of handy things, or whatever it's called, don't you? Yes.
Yes. A robe of useful items.
I was basically right. Okay. All right. So you're pulling yourself across the river. Quite quickly, you reach a point where your feet won't touch the ground, and I'm going to need an athletics check from you, and then one from your mastiff.
And then the mastiff, yeah. All right. So athletics from my end is a that is a 22.
Yes, quite well done.
Can I consider the mastiff? So it's not a special mastiff, but it is a war dog. Can I consider it trained in athletics?
Yes, I would say a war dog can be trained in athletics.
This is in... Actually, what would its proficiency bonus be? What level is this dog?
Since it's challenge rating 1/8, it should have a +2 proficiency bonus.
Okay, so that would be... So it has strength of 13, that's +1. So that's an 18 for the dog.
All right. Incredibly, your dog, like, it's a near thing for sure, but you're having no problem gripping the rope, but your dog's like kind of... It takes a few steps down the bank, trying to resist the hold of the current, you know? But
yeah,
your dog manages to pull through, and you pull through quite all right, and you manage to rope yourself over, hand over hand.
Yeah. Ka'arg thanks his king for the gift and walks down the other tunnel.
Right.
Kind of picking up the pace too. His stomach's starting to rumble.
True. You're a soggy boy.
Yeah. And Ka'arg very much values his meals. You know, he's a half-orc.
Of course. Alright, yeah, so you're standing on the other bank of the river now, picking up the pace. You're proceeding down the tunnel at, we'll say, a fast walk, yeah? Right.
Yeah. I will also say that as a soldier, it is completely unacceptable for him to mess up his routine.
I bet, yeah.
So he is truly, like... He's starting to get a little peeved that he's having to go through this much effort for his spices.
Oh, quite understandable. And this hallway, you will notice, is quite dark. Pitch dark, in fact, but your dark vision manages to make it dim, so you can still see.
Yeah.
The air is still warm and still humid, but now an earthy scent wafts from deeper within, and the floor is webbed with something like vines.
Oh, Can we go back? We didn't address what happened to the lit torch, which would have been an issue.
Presumably you have to either, like, just leave it on the bank or douse it in the river. Yeah, what's up?
I was gonna say, can I throw it across?
Can you throw it across? Can you? Let's see.
Yeah.
I'll say a lit torch is only slightly, like, more difficult to throw than a hand axe, and you can toss a hand axe something like 60 feet, no problem. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. I will toss it across and hope that it stays lit. Do we just do like an even odd?
Even odd sounds good, yeah. Roll evens, it stays lit. Odds, it goes out.
All right, rolling a d6. That is a 6.
Right, lit. And it's lit too.
Awesome.
You have a torch. This hallway is not.
Yeah, so I'm gonna continue holding the torch. I'm not gonna light the other ones, but I'm gonna keep mine.
Okay, yeah. Let's see, where were we? Yes, the floor is webbed with something like vines, and blobs of vegetation begin to line the walls.
I'm gonna like reach down and pick at some of the vines and kind of rub it between my fingers.
Right, yeah,
I assume I'm strong enough to just like crush it, you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's like strange, powdery, rubbery at first, but then it like kind of loses its integrity, and it's definitely got like a powdery feel to it. So can you roll me investigation or nature, please?
Sure, I will roll... Can I roll insight?
It's once again not telling you any lies.
That's a 19.
That's just what it wants him to think.
That's a what? Sorry.
19.
All right, yeah. This is not vine, it's mycelium.
Oh. I taste it.
Okay. Are you sure you want to taste the mycelium?
Yes.
Do it, trip sack.
All right, you go ahead and you put it on your tongue, and how much are you tasting here? Like, is it just like a dab, or are you like snorting it?
I pick up like enough to fit between like my index and middle finger and then my thumb, and like crush it into dust between my calluses, and I have pretty big fingers, and then I basically like I lick whatever's on my pointer finger off.
You lick your pointer finger. Okay, that's quite alright.
Yeah.
Can you make me a con save, please?
Yeah, I'm pretty good at those. I get +8 to those. Ooh, that's a 14.
Okay, yeah. You're gonna take 1d8 poison damage right here, and suffer no other consequences. It leaves like an acrid burning on your tongue that doesn't feel very good at all, but it goes away.
But does it taste okay? Is it like good burn spice, or like
once you like power through like the actual like burning sensation of like some kind of like reaction, it's got like an interesting like taste that falls somewhere between sweet and bitter, and it reminds you of like a soup you had once in a land far to the north.
Yeah, I'm gonna
7 damage.
Okay, sweet. I go to 117. And
Jesus fuck, I'd forgotten to look at your hit points.
yeah, I'm gonna take my hand axe and cut like a square, like a 6-inch square of this stuff off the ground and pocket it.
All right, yeah, you do it.
And then I'm actually gonna like put on a light jog down the tunnel.
Put on a light jog. All right.
Yeah, just
As you pass by one of the like larger fruiting bodies of the fungus, like you manage to see it like quivering with something like anticipation, like maybe half a second before it explodes and covers you in spores. Could I get another con save, please?
Sure. That is a natural 20. Woo!
Okay. You're gonna take...
I'm gonna take a picture of this one.
Congratulations. Yeah, you're gonna take half of 8d6 poison damage. So that's a fireball of poison from Blake, please.
So 46, or should I roll 8d6 and half it?
8d6 and half it.
You roll... Yes. It's numerically halved, not dice halved.
But in the timeline where Alex fails that save, they take the full 8d6 and suffer,
Yeah.
Other things.
Some other stuff.
Yeah, as a treat.
So full is 28, you'd take 14.
Okay. Yeah. Karg is instantly, like, blinded by the spray of spores that fills, like, his mouth and nose, and he doesn't, like, fall to his knees, but he puts his hand on the wall and, like, and he collects himself for a second and then torches what's left of the spore thing with his torch.
Yeah, it's accurate. It burns. The air is still a bit damp, so you manage to like torch this particular like fruiting body. You know, you put it to the torch.
But it's not gonna catch the whole.
It burns down to the ground and
figured.
fails to spread across.
Yeah, he's gonna transition. Can I roll for like a? Would it be perception if I want to like move with purpose, but keep my torch outstretched in front of me and just burn any of these things as I come across them?
They're not like hidden or camouflaged. Like if your goal is to just burn every single one of the fruiting bodies, and I'll say that there are maybe like 24 that you can see in range in front of you, then yeah,
okay,
that's free, but it'll take you like, I don't know, 10 minutes if you're gonna have such thoroughness.
Okay, can I roll to like to speed that up with the thoroughness?
Like what are you doing to speed that up? Are you like hitting it really fast with a torch? Are you like identifying...
I'm gonna channel some sword exercises, and a lot of the training that he did, it's very similar to like real life kendo, where you move backwards and forwards in straight lines while doing strikes. So he's gonna get into his sword fighting stance and just advance down the hallway while striking like right and left with the torch.
Ah, I see. Like there's like machete explorers, but like with a torch.
Yeah, exactly.
I was a little disappointed for a second. I was imagining you just like striding up and down the hall, whacking everything, screaming "men" the whole time.
Basically. Men. I love kendo.
Perfect. Okay, yeah. I'll let you speed that up. Your background is giving you some kind of benefit here, right? Let's say nature
I
with
am a soldier
advantage to do this efficiently.
Okay. First one rolled from natural 20 to 8.
Unfortunate.
Oof.
And the second one was a 9. That's hilarious.
Alright,
Alright, but then I add... so that's a modified 10.
Okay, it's not particularly efficient. In fact, it's kind of inefficient, but your enthusiasm makes up for the difference, and it takes you 10 minutes anyways.
That's fair. I'll accept that. Yeah, and you know, he likes doing it this way. He's like, at least I'm getting some practice in while I'm fetching this.
Of course, of course.
Do you want me to drop time off the clock, or
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 10 minutes was the...
Karga's losing 10 minutes before his routine is out of sync.
Alright, what's at the end of this hallway here?
End of this hallway. Alright, yeah, so it like opens up into a room, and it's pretty much like an overgrown like cave, somewhere between cave and cavern in terms of size. In the absence of the fire newts, the fungus has actually developed a life and civilization of its own. It's also kind of hostile to you, and you can see like small fungal men like hissing, screeching at you before like stepping back and fading into like walls of like yellow-green flesh.
Worth noting, you got about 15 minutes left on the clock.
Karga's getting pretty pissed off now. He's gonna the patch he prepared earlier. He's gonna rip off his chest. It is a lamp filled with oil, and he's gonna dump the oil across his cannabo and light it on fire.
Okay, you have a flaming cannabo.
And he is just gonna let out an orcish bellow of rage and charge this fungal civilization.
All right, yeah. So they are utterly unprepared. Well, no, they're like kind of prepared. They heard you burning your way through the hallway. But yeah, so you can see like maybe like 15 of these. They're vegapygmies, so I'm gonna call them vegapygmies.
Got it.
Like fungal men like screech and like run like away from you, and like 5 of them like step forward with a chief, and they're like facing you down in the middle of their burning village, and the chief is like gesturing at you. And like letting off clouds of spores, but like you can't really understand it beyond some kind of, you know, anger.
Is this an actual attack, or am I just stomping them?
They're like all like gesturing and like letting loose spores and like shaking their fists at you, and the chief like kind of reaches into one of the like mounds of fungi and like pulls out a spear that forms itself from mycelium in his fist. But this is them trying to like scare you off.
Okay, no, I'm just gonna burn the place down as I run through.
All right, yeah, they're actually unwilling to fight you because you've set everything on fire, and they hate fire. So, yeah, as you like step closer with your like huge flaming spiky club, if I remember Kanaba right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's yeah. So his is square.
Right. Important
Is the only
feature.
unique thing about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they like scatter as you grow closer and like run off into the darkness of the next tunnel. All right, you've burnt your way through the fungal village.
Mm-hmm.
And do you want to proceed further down?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, as you walk, like you like see about like half the village.
He's not walking. He's continuing his full-on charge.
All right, you're sprinting down the tunnel then, and like pressed up against the walls,
Yeah.
you see like different frightened vegapygmies who are like unwilling.
I'm also gonna use a charge of fighting spirit, which gives me advantage on my next attack, and I get 10 temporary HP.
Yeah, like I said, the vegapygmies are pressed against the wall, but like what as you're like passing the chief, recognizing him, he's like he like runs further than anyone else first of all, but like he recognizes that your speed is inherently higher than his and like steps back to let you pass, you know? But like as you charge past him, like he does reach out and like try to land a swipe onto you with his spear.
I will. I'm just gonna crush him against the wall as I run past with the Kanaba.
Okay, yeah. Attack roll, please.
That is a natural 20 with the first one, and an 8 with the second, because advantage.
Okay, yeah.
So, nat 20.
This guy stabs you for 9 piercing damage with his fungal spear, and then you proceed to. You said 18 piercing damage?
No, 8 was the second roll because I have advantage, and it deals. So it's advantage, so I double the dice. So it's 4d6.
Oh, it's a crit, so you double
5d6
the
because I'm an
dice.
orc, though. Yeah. So I deal 5d6 plus 4 because I'm an orc because I get savage attacks.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you another 5d6 of fire because your club's on fire.
Yeah, so it's like 20 plus. We're like over 40 damage.
Okay.
I'm gonna stop
Yeah,
rolling.
you needed 33 to put this chief down, and he is weak to fire too. Or they're weak to fire, I should say. Yeah, so you pulp this chief against the wall, and there's like another explosion of spores too. But they all go up in fire before they can really menace you. Alright. And you're there. The flaming ruin wreck of the chief slides down the wall.
I'm gonna grab it.
Okay, yeah, the other pygmies like flee chittering like back towards the burning village. You grab.
Yeah, I just run forward holding the body of the chief in front of me.
Alright, you run forwards with the body of a chief in front of you. As you keep sprinting down this tunnel, torches once again begin to light the walls, and you come up to a large nautical wheel type door. It's like a hatch with like a sailing ship.
I pull, I reach, this is gonna be a weird one. I reach into the folds of my cloak. I remove.
Oh, also there's like
what
a hand
appears to
embroidered
be
welcome mat on the ground. Okay, yeah, you remove.
I'm gonna pull. I remove a square of string and I push it onto the wall, and a 2x4x2 hole appears in the door, and I walk through.
Okay, yeah, you slap that.
Wait, is that the window? Because the hole is...
No, it's the window,
or the
yeah.
pit. Okay.
The pit is 10 foot cubed, yeah.
Alright, thanks for tracking that, by the way, Blake. I do not know everything in the...
I've had your session notes and his character
Yeah,
sheet
I
open
can
the
see
whole
you
time.
cross-referencing, so thank you.
I'm running out of time.
Yeah,
Let's go.
you step through the door. You step over the welcome mat. So you like pass through your window that you've created in this door that you did not open.
I did
and you
not.
come across a large, very large, surprised lobster. Yeah.
Alright.
In the back of this room, there's a lobster-shaped robot suit. There are bookshelves, and there's like a lobster-shaped dog bed for lobsters.
So, Ka'arg is kind of like raging now. He's not a barbarian, but he's got that orcish fighting spirit in him. So his mental faculties aren't all there. He just goes, spices!
All right, and the lobster like kind of screams and like makes for the robot suit, and he's like, oh my god, this is horrible, and he's just scuttling.
Can I roll initiative?
Yeah, sure. Initiative, please.
That is a 13.
A 13. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and our lobster actually did roll a natural 20 on initiative.
Oh my god.
Yes, indeed. So as their action, they're going to scuttle over to their robot suit and climb into it, and the whole thing seals with like the hissing of steam and some like clanking mechanical noises. It's like a 10 by 10 robot suit.
Okay.
All right.
Convenient. As my action, I'm going to run up to him and throw a 10 by 10 by 10 hole at his feet.
Does this hole lead somewhere, or is it like 10 feet down?
Nope, it's just it's a 10-foot cube pit.
All right, you kind of like pizza like spin it and like throw it under his feet, and make me once again a ranged attack roll for that, please.
That is I assume I'm not proficient, so that is a 15.
A 15. All right, I'm gonna give him a dex save against this, and that is an 11.
Yay.
All right, so like the robot suit like kind of lurches to the side and almost makes it, but then the pit like opens up and like half the robot lobster like falls into the pit, and the other half follows, and now you've got a prone robot lobster suit in a pit, and like just sticking out the top
tries to
of the
get
hole,
up. Boy, oh boy.
You've got like antenna.
Attacks of opportunity.
Okay. And that's your action. Right, this robot suit is going to spend half its movement getting up, and then it's gonna try and climb out of the pit, you know, and you can see now that the pin points in the ground were from like its metal legs stabbing in to the ground to climb. So like with some like clanks, it manages to get out of the hole, and then it snaps you with a claw.
Do I get it's coming up from being prone though, so I get an opportunity attack, right?
Yeah, like we'll assume you stepped up to the edge of the pit. Yeah, as it like maneuvers its way out of the pit's space, you can have an attack of opportunity as it like makes that awkward 90-degree transition.
I will also use my bonus action to trigger Fighting Spirit a second time.
Oh, this is back on your turn then? Before this happens? You can only bonus action on your turn.
That's true. Can I have
yes,
done that?
Of course.
Okay. So I roll, that is a natural 20.
Okay, you slap it as it comes out.
Yeah, and I deal 5d6 plus 4. So that's 3, 9, 15, 18, 23, 27.
Okay.
Oh, and I get a bonus attack action because I crit and I have great weapon mastery. So I get to attack it again.
I don't think that happens on
opportunity. Oh, no, that's a bonus
attacks.
action, so that would be on my turn. You're right.
Also, where are you getting 5d6 from? Sorry. Blake can pause.
So, Maul...
2d6 plus 4, doubled, plus 1 damage die on
Yeah,
crit.
because half
Oh, you crit again?
Savage attacks.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, sorry. Proceed.
Yeah, and then the Great Weapon Mastery bonus attack is triggered on crits.
Right, but on your turn. Alright, so this guy finishes climbing out of the pit and misses you with the first swipe of the claw, comes back with a second, and bops you for 10 bludgeoning damage.
That just gets eaten by my temp HP.
Alright, back to you.
Yeah, I'm going to... So as it, like, he swings at me and it, like, just bounces off my armor, and I'm going to... I'm just gonna take a... Just, like, big old, like, straight behind the back and as hard as I can over his head, and I'm gonna use my Great Weapon Master -5 to hit for plus 10 damage. Aw, I rolled a 2. So that is a... So I get a 5.
That is not quite going to hit, and it bounces right off the brassy carapace of the lobster.
Yeah, that is my turn.
10th level fighter should have multiple attacks, I think.
Oh, you're right. I forgot. I haven't played a martial character in a long time. I'm gonna swing at him again and do the same thing. So the first one bounces off, and I'm just gonna re-holster it and let fly. Not one.
All right, yeah, that's gonna do it. You like fumble your weapon and like drop it, and you kind of stare into like the Robo Lobster's eyes for a hot sec, and like bend down to pick it up.
Actually, can I action surge instead?
Yes, you can.
All right, third time's the charm, baby. We're going for the -5 to hit for +10 damage.
Okay.
Yeah, so it bounces off a second time. Can I say that it like dents it a little, but also sends like one of those really annoying shocks up his arm where he, like where you hit metal with a metal hammer,
Yes.
and it really pisses him off.
The vibration is so
So
uncomfy.
he rolls again. He rolls a 9, so -5 is 4, +8 is 12.
That's not gonna do it against this lobster.
All right. That is fine. Yeah. He takes his 3 attacks.
It's 4 attacks because you're taking the full attack action with action surge.
Oh, I don't think I've ever played a fighter in 5e. This time I'm not doing the -5 to hit, and I get a 12 again though, so it does not matter.
All right, that was truly unfortunate. And like the lobster like sees you like flail at it 4 swings in 6 seconds, failing to land a hit, and a voice comes through, modulated by speakers, and it's like, everything okay over there? Why are you doing this? And it like kind of like rocks back and kind of like tries to back away from you, maybe like create 15 feet of space.
Okay. So it backed away. I get another opportunity attack, right?
Yes, you do. If you choose to take it, it's like trying to disengage presently.
I will.
Okay.
Absolutely. That is an 18.
All right, that is going to hit.
That is 2d6 plus 4 is 9 damage.
All right, you pump 9 damage into this lobster shell. All right, yeah, so like as you take the attack of opportunity and hit it, this thing manages to create its 15 feet of space and seems resolved to finish this fight. And kind of hits you with a huge jet of lightning. And can you make me a dexterity saving throw, please?
Yes, and something I forgot to use earlier is if I fail this, I can retry it because I am indomitable.
Yes.
But I got a 15 -1, I get a 14.
Oof, you needed a 15, my guy. Do you choose to re-roll that?
I will re-roll that, yeah.
Go ahead.
Nope. That was a 7.
Unfortunate. Right, you're
good.
going to take 51 lightning damage from this.
All right. So I go down to 52.
You're bleeding.
So, strictly speaking, we are out of time, but this is also combat,
Like,
so
every round is like 10 seconds.
if we wanted to...
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, if we wanted to stretch this a little
Okay,
bit.
so we'll say that like at the end of this fight will be the conclusion of the hour kind of thing.
Okay, that sounds fine.
Like one way or
Yeah.
another.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and like as this like spark of lightning like pulses into you, the lobster like kind of like settles down in its chassis, and there's like a hiss of steam and vents as it tries to repressurize or something, and that's its turn.
Yeah, Karg is just gonna... So he takes the blast of lightning, and it sends burns all along him. I imagine it singes parts of his armor and stuff, too. And he is just going to scream in pain and once again charge this lobster thing.
Alright, you re-engage.
Yep, so first, I'm gonna use Fighting Spirit again, so I have advantage on my first attack. So first attack is, I rolled a 15 or a 9. The 15 adds 8 for a, I should have done the -5 on this one. That's fine. 23 to hit.
Yep, that's a hit. Fighting Spirit is also all attacks, not first attack.
Ah, so I will do the -5 on the next
Okay.
one. So that's 13 damage from the first attack. And the next roll was an 11 or a 14. So 14 minus 5 is a 9, plus 8 is 17.
All right. Yeah, you give it 2 big cracks of the kanabo, and oil like blood begins to pour down the side of the lobster. And
Yeah, the second attack dealt 23 damage.
oh, okay. Yeah. Like I said, it's bleeding blood. I mean, bleeding oil.
Yes. It's bleeding blood.
Goodness. Hey, Shakespeare actually said something like that. And like everyone let him get
I
away
believe
with
it. Shakespeare said a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay. So you deal it 2 snaps of the kanabo, and then this thing gives you 2 whacks of its claws. Alright, I hadn't checked armor class previously, but what is it now?
It is 16.
Alright, one of those claws is going to hit you and deal 12 bludgeoning damage.
Alright.
And the lobster rocks in its chassis?
Chassis?
Also, 10 of that got absorbed by my temp hit points.
Of course. Yeah, you soak it. And it rocks in its, like... Sorry. Chassis again?
Chassis.
Again. Trying to repressurize, but doesn't quite manage it. Alright, it's up to you.
Alright. Kind of a weird rules question. Does compelled duel give me any advantages in the fight? It just forces them to fight me,
Yeah,
right?
they have to, like, save if they want to fight anything else. But nope.
So, yeah. I'm just gonna whack them.
Okay.
This time I'm going to expend a proficiency die, and use a pushing attack.
Oh, a superiority dice.
Superiority dice, yes,
maneuver.
sorry.
Okay, yeah, you're good.
Yes. I am a martial adept. So if I hit, sorry, I'm gonna do that.
Mhm.
Right. That's how this
Correct.
works. So first attack is a 17 to hit.
Yes, you're good.
And I will expend my superiority die. He has to make a DC 16 strength save or be pushed 15 feet back.
Alright, that is going to be a strength save. With a 9, it is not going to quite do it.
Alright, so he takes 12 damage and flies back 15 feet.
Alright, he takes the 12 damage from your impact and is stopped by one of his own bookshelves and flies back 10 feet. And we'll say the last 5 feet gets pumped into another 5 damage onto him.
I was gonna say, do I get an opportunity attack for him leaving my
No,
reach?
because it's not movement coming from his movement.
That's
yeah, you
fair.
need something like Dissonant Whispers in 5e for that. Alright, moving on.
Second attack, yeah.
Alright, you close the distance again. This lobster is rattled from the cascade of books, so I'm giving you advantage.
Sick. I'm gonna take the -5.
Alright,
So that first one is a nat 1.
I'm sorry to hear it.
The second one is a 14, -5 is 9, plus 8 is 17.
17 is going to connect again.
Alright, so that is 7 damage off the table, plus 14 is 21 damage.
Alright, this thing looks like 3 or 4 good hits are gonna put it down.
Alright.
Okay. This thing manages to like shake off the blear of the books and it like screeches, "My books! My research! My journals!" And it is going to take another...
Yeah, in response, Ka'arg just yells, "Spices!"
Yeah. And it like yells journals right back as it like tries to slam into you with the bulk of its body. And somehow manages to miss the half-orc with a 10x10 lobster. Alright, it's your turn.
Nice. Yeah. I'm just gonna swing at him. I will. Yeah, I'll take the -5. He's getting pretty pissed off and feeling lucky.
Okay.
That is not a hit on the first one. Rolled a 3.
Oof, unfortunate.
Yeah, following that, he is going to wisen up a little. He's not going to take the -5 on the next one. So he takes a big, another big overhead slam attack, full on misses. It just hits the ground. And he pivots to his right and just uses the pivoting motion to swing the tip of his cannon bow into the thing's face. With a 25.
Yes, that's definitely a hit.
For, off the table again, 12 damage.
Okay, yeah. Your upswing clobbers it and it rears back into the air, and then as it's falling down, it immediately tries to slam and fall onto you with its bulk, connecting this time for 12 bludgeoning damage, and it's your turn again.
Okay, so I am down to 38. Yeah, Karg is starting to pant a little and had definitely... I actually don't know if he's bleeding, because most of the damage was from the lightning, which would have just burned him.
Yeah.
But he's
I say bleeding when things
he's got
are
burns
half
over.
health, but you can be visibly hurting.
Yeah, I'd say his left arm is 60% covered in burns kind of thing. He's not looking great. He comes in, rolls a 14 off the bat for the first attack.
Not going to do it.
He's actually gonna second wind as well.
All right.
As part of this action. That's a bonus action, so he's gonna gain 12 HP back. Goes back up to 50.
Oof. 2 on a 1d10 is sad. Okay. Go on.
And swing for a second attack, which will be a 15.
Also doesn't connect. Sorry.
All right. Yeah, so he takes a uppercut swing, which misses, and tries to turn it into a diagonal swipe, which also misses, but he got his feet back underneath him and has replanted his stance.
All right. Good to hear it. Yeah, this thing's nose has been absolutely bashed in, and one of its sides is very much caved deeply in as well. It cannot be comfortable to be inside this robot suit at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It lurches forward and tries to ram its bashed in nose into you once more, but misses. And it's your turn.
Ooh, can I do something? So would this thing be considered a building?
It's not a building, but you can call it a
Yes,
structure.
I was hoping you'd do
A
this.
construct.
Yeah, I'm gonna... So it's looking pretty beat up, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to attempt to climb up between its shoulders where it can't reach me.
Okay. Yeah. It's got short arms and long spindly legs that can't really pivot up there.
Yeah.
Okay, can you...
Okay, so would that be... Can I make that athletics? So to describe this, he's gonna drop his cannon bow.
Okay.
He's gonna drop his shoulders and charge in like a rugby tackle.
Okay.
Grab the thing around the waist. Or does it have ridges along the back?
It does. It's got plating.
So he runs in, grabs onto that plating, and just wrenches himself around the robot, and then climbs up its back.
All right. Yeah. Athletics, please.
That is a 18.
All right. Yeah. You reach up there. No problem.
All right.
E.
Is that my action?
Yeah. It's going to make an athletics check to contest you. I'm treating this as basically what do you call it? Grappling.
Grappling. Yeah.
And it manages a 6, which is not going to do it.
No.
All right.
Yeah. So Karg reaches up onto his back to grab the largest of the petroglyphs, and as he unravels the 2 strings, he pulls a portable battering ram off of the cloak on his back.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that is his action, though.
I want to say it's technically an item interaction, but the grappling itself is an action.
Yeah, okay. Fair
Okay,
enough.
yeah, so this robot is going to make an athletics check to try and get you off.
Yeah, so now he's right where the neck meets the shoulders, and he's got his legs wrapped around its neck. He's not choking it, obviously, because it can't breathe, but that's what he would be doing, you know?
And its roll is not going to be enough to dislodge you.
Oh, can I actually... I would argue as well that I have advantage on these grapples because the army he used to fight was mountain giants. So he's very used to fighting things bigger than him.
I wouldn't say that competence against a species or even a specific build grants advantage against things of that morph forever.
That's a good point as well, because that's also a specific ranger ability. Like, I would not claim to just have preferred enemy, so fair.
All right. Yeah, so...
Regardless, that's what he's thinking.
Of course, of course. Makes sense.
That's how he knows how to do this.
Right. And that actually brings it back around to your... Oh, this thing, like, sinks down. Servo's work. Oh my god. We're gonna talk about this thing's rolls after. But yeah, servos were, nothing happens. It's your turn.
Yeah, he's just gonna slam the ram down where its skull meets the neck of the creature.
Okay.
Like basically a curb stomp, but it's standing up instead of being held upside down.
Of course.
He's trying to knock its head off. Would this be an attack or like an athletics check? It'd be an attack because I'm using it as like structure damage, right?
Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna treat your improvised battering ram as a ring of the ram, or does it have its own attack roll associated?
You can use a portable ram to break down doors. When doing so, you gain a +4 bonus on the strength check. One other character can help you use the ram, giving you advantage. So I don't have the advantage, but I get... So can I use it as, like, not an attack, but I'm effectively attempting to break down the door of his armor?
Yeah, no, that's quite alright. And I'm going to call that athletics again.
Okay. So do I get the +4 because it's the ram?
+4, but yes, you do.
So I get +11 to this.
Okay.
That is a 16.
Alright, and just to clarify, are you like bashing in this thing's like head plate, you know, and like crushing the lobster inside, or are...
No, I'm like trying to break the head off the armor.
Oh, the entire like head of the lobster suit.
Yeah, so he's like, so presumably there's like some like sealing ring or joint where the head meets the rest of it so it can look back and forth. And he's hitting like away from the body at that joint at the base of the skull.
Okay, yeah. That sounds good. You said 16 on athletics, right? Roll me nature as well, like for like the anatomy of lobster robots.
Sure. Can I roll insight?
No, but you'll say that your giant days do give you proficiency with this because you know how to target joints.
So that is a 15 without proficiency and a 19 with.
Alright, yeah, you managed to like slam this thing's head off, but there's like a sickening like crunch sound because like as the head of the metal robot breaks and dislodges and slams down, the like actual lobster inside of it kind of like stops it with the base of its own neck and like gets crushed instead. So there's like some resistance at the end. And like the smell of like lobster insides fills the room. And the robot
I'm
like,
going
whirs down
to
as well.
frantically look around for my spices.
Alright, yeah, your spice pouch is sitting on a table next to some lab equipment.
Alright, I season the lobster with the spices and my mycelium and enjoy him.
Alright, it is a very, very, very handily spiced lobster. It tastes great. You can...
Can I roll to cook it?
Absolutely, roll me nature for cooking.
Can I make that survival?
Yes, roll me survival for cooking. That makes more sense, actually.
That is a 15.
Alright. I'll give you proficiency on it, too, if you aren't already.
I am not, so that is 19.
Yeah, okay.
So what? You use the suit to make a nice lobster
Oh
bisque?
yeah, I cook him in the helmet. That's perfect.
Alright.
Yeah, so what I do is I take a bunch of his books and his research, and I make like a bonfire in the middle of the room, and I plop the helmet down on top of that and use it as a cook pot with the spices and the corpse of the chief dude as like to make the stock. And then boil him in it and eat him.
Right. It's just about the
That
best
sounds
lobster
delicious.
bisque you've ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to turn that into a short rest, we'll give you like an additional like 2d10 hit points on top. But since you do have your spice pouch back, and since you have had dinner in time, I think we can say that you have, in fact, completed the session successfully.
Yeah, he's gonna... So he gets his meal, and he's like, oh, right on time. He takes a short rest, recharges all of his abilities, and then just beats his way out again, collecting his dogs, and goes back to his camp.
Alright, yeah. You, like, rampage through the village, you greet the fire newts on your way out. They're like, oh my god, thank you so much. You collect your dogs.
Did they treat the dog okay?
They basically like ignored your dogs. They didn't have
Okay,
like the
that's
gumption
acceptable.
chutzpah to approach the dog, you know? So they just kind of like let it be there. Gave it like bulgy-eyed glances of concern.
As I go back, I whisper the command words and reweave my various items back into my cloak.
Alright, yeah, you managed to put everything back into your cloak too. Nothing has been lost permanently.
Awesome.
Alright, you make it back to camp in time to finish the rest of your routine, and you are a happy camper.
Yeah, he does a 4-hour meditation after every dinner, which is why he has to eat so early.
Makes sense, makes sense.
And boy, does he need the meditation after that encounter. All right, but we're getting into post-show discussion. Thanks for listening, guys.
Yes, thank you, everybody.
It's been a really good time.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to our 3 GMs, I would like to give a big thank you to Lyrica Yanaway and Casey Ahern, our editor and manager. I would also love to give a huge shout out to Dana Bolger for being our additional outside help in the editing sphere. As for our logo, if you like how that looks, and boy is it snazzy, you can find a link in our description to the awesome artist who created it. As always, thanks for tuning in, and happy adventures.